Chapter 11. Where are we going now? The only place left, Noel answered as they walked. Mai frowned at his cryptic answer. Your parents were Santa before you, right? Martin was before Jean, yes. Mai fell silent, unsure how she could ask without being insensitive. Were you born here? In the North Pole? Noel almost chuckled. No, he said, once he had regained his composure. We were not. But we were born in America, Noel interrupted. Sons of 2 immigrants. But Martin and Luella adopted us. Let me explain. Mai imitated zipping her mouth shut. We grew up near Boston, in Massachusetts. When we were 7 years old, our mother drank herself to death. Our father came home, saw our mother, and just left. Mai's mouth fell open in horror. We did not do very well for ourselves. Neither of us was strong enough to move our mother's body, so we lived with it decaying in the dining room. It was a long walk to the next town, and we'd never been there before by ourselves, so we stole food from the local farms. We had never really been to school, or even learnt English properly, as our parents had used Japanese at home. Mai's mouth, if possible, dropped a little further. Martin found us. We were both starving, barely surviving. He brought us back here. They had been unable to conceive a child of their own, so they took us in. We had never known what it was like to have real parents. Noel sighed. Truth be told, Martin was initially suspicious of me, as I had been on the naughty list. When I said we stole food, I meant that I did while Jean kept a lookout. And that's why you don't like the naughty list? Mai surmised. Can you really call a starving child naughty for stealing food? Noel shrugged. Madoka was training to be a teacher under an old man who passed away a few years ago now. We were her first students. Mai smiled. Not particularly good students, I should add. We were both intelligent children, eager for knowledge, but that did not stop mischief. Jean liked to make trouble. I sometimes wondered if he did it to test the boundaries, to see how much trouble he could make before Luella and Martin threw us out. It took a long time for either of us to get used to the idea that they would not. They turned into another corridor. Then, 3 years ago, Martin decided he wanted to retire. That year he took Jean with him on his Santa rounds. Jean was to be his replacement. Did that upset you? Mai asked quickly. Not at all. In case you had not noticed, my general manner is not ideal for merriment. Mai laughed as Noel gave her a small smile. You did all right, she mumbled. Thank you. But I assure you, Jean was made for the job. His temperament is much lighter, more jovial. Madoka gave him lessons, and Martin trained him on the job, while I worked in the coal mine, and later with other behind-the-scenes work as head elf, a position from which I learnt many of the responsibilities of Santa, just in case a stand-in was required, like now. An icy blast hit Mai in the face as Noel opened a door. He led her out into the night, pointing to a house about 20 metres away. What's that? Mai yelled over the wind. Noel mouthed something back, but Mai could not hear him. He grabbed her hand and pulled her through the night and into the house. Inside was toasty and warm. The interior resembled a picture postcard cottage. There were low-slung beams and a roaring fire in the fireplace. Pictures above the mantelpiece showed a happy family on various different occasions, parties, outings, and the like. What's this? Santa's house, he said. Perk of the job. You get your own house, while everyone else lives in dorms? I do not like it either, but no one else seems willing to get rid of the tradition, Noel admitted. Though while I have been in charge, I have kept an open door to anyone who needs it, except, of course, to my private room. Mai nodded in understanding. He gestured her to take a seat on a squishy sofa. Noel potted around and made tea. Why have you shown me this? So you know where you may find me over the coming days if you need anything. But can't I just ask? Of course you may ask whoever you please, Noel stated, but sometimes having connections in high places can be helpful. I'll have you know that Santa's mum likes me, Mai teased. Noel rolled his eyes. Luella likes everyone. Really? Yes. Even when someone misbehaves, she always gives them a second chance. Mai sipped at the tea. She was starting to feel tired. A lot had happened in the last few hours. Why do you still live here? Because this is Santa's... No, Mai interjected. Wasn't this all your brother's? Isn't it weird moving in here so soon? Noel frowned at Mai. Why would it be weird? Well, isn't your brother dead?